I'm gonna set the title real quick. So,
All right. No, yeah. I don't know. What do you think? 4x3?
yeah, I would do 4x3.
Just tell me if I need to change anything.
Which layout are we on right now? Okay, 4x3.
Yeah, hold on. Let's adjust the game first.
Alright. I'll let you adjust the game and then I'll do the titles after that. I say do 16 by 9.
All right.
Sorry.
He's the boss.
Well, I'm guessing that's Domi.
Here, you can adjust everything. I'm sick of touching this.
Well, you got the... That's good. I'm okay with doing the titles.
All right.
What is
We'll
the
give you a
ETA for
countdown.
this?
Let me check. The ETA is 155. Second.
155 seconds?
Yeah.
I just go fast, man.
Dude, I can't edit the ETA. What is this?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's going on,
Yo,
gamer?
you guys need to edit the crop. It's too much.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
looking
we're
at the-
doing the titles first.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure you guys know.
Yep.
Also, I might stay in the call for just a little bit if that's cool.
No problem.
Let's see if I can spell Jamaican Bacon's name right, which anyone who knows, I've failed like 4 times. Like every single time.
Spelling is pretty hard, man. Not gonna lie.
Dude, he spells his name like missing... Yeah, he spells like his name wrong or something.
Yeah, he spells it wrong. It's
I
not
think
really
both words are
Jamaican.
spelled wrong.
By the way,
Obviously not my fault.
Obvious.
while you guys are waiting, you guys should tweet out the stream with the hashtag SRC2014. And I'll go ahead and tweet something about Paperario running. Is it with a capital A?
No.
Oh, okay. Because people keep putting a capital A.
Yeah, I do. I don't know.
It's
Just
fine,
naturally,
man.
I want to capitalize it.
Yeah, my time on the Kirby's Epic Yarn leaderboards, it has a capital A, and it bugs me sometimes.
My bad.
Not that bad.
I fixed the title, so.
Alright, so I think all the titles should be good.
Yeah, just fix the layout.
I don't know how to do that. Like, make it look rounded, I don't know what to do for that.
I got it. Just
What
get
do
off
you just
fancy
like
so
put
it
it
doesn't
behind
lag.
the green?
Yeah, you just put it behind it. But to edit it, you have to put it above it.
I'm so hyped for Epic Yarn. Who else? Who else in the chat is hyped for this run? I am so pumped. You can tell
Dude,
by my
how-
Dude, I
monotone
am.
voice, huh?
I was
How
so
can you
hyped when
not be
Paperario
pumped?
said he's good for doing this run. You have no idea.
Oh, I love Epic Yarn.
Yeah, the run's pretty cool.
No pressure or anything.
Yeah, just get
like-
world record and you'll be fine.
Easy peasy, man. 137. Go.
Like that.
Alright, Domi, tell us when you're ready.
I'm ready whenever you
Okay,
guys
sure.
are.
I can do the countdown. I just need Domi's approval.
Just a second. Okay, go ahead and start.
Who's doing the timer?
I got it.
Alright.
I'm ready whenever.
Wait, does someone keep clicking off of that?
I'm not on VNC right now.
Just someone start counting down for the run to start. I can do it.
Oh, okay. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hype train.
Hype, hype.
Okay, so this is Kirby's Epic Yarn any percent. Not much happens in the very beginning of the game. This game is very straightforward and linear, although it does have some very interesting things that you'll see later on in the run. Huge plus to this game, skippable cutscenes. I don't know what I would do without them. This game would be so dull. Alright, so some of the basic things about this game. Movement. The fastest way to move through this game is by going into the car. You're going to see that throughout the entire run. Right at the end of the stage, there's this thing we call the goal game. For casual players, what you would do is throughout the stage, you would pick up these patch things, and at the end of the stage, the goal game would have those, and you could use those to get beads. But because this is a speedrun, I don't pick up any of those. And because of that, I want the goal game to end as fast as possible because I'm trying to go quickly. Although the goal game, slightly random, although it can be manipulated in some cases. I know how to manipulate it like up until the end of World 2. It's not.
People are saying no game audio.
Okay, I can talk about that. I'm really sorry about that. I have to use an easy cap right now because my dazzle is broken. and so I have game audio, but it's really garbage, and I didn't want it to like hurt people's ears, so I have it really quiet.
Okay, no problem.
I mean, if it was my choice, I would put it up higher, but I mean, I don't want to hurt people's ears because it's really bad. I'm really sorry about that. Alright, so this stage right here, optimally I want to do it going into the car only one time throughout the entire stage. I should be able to do it, but I mean, if I make a spacing mistake, then it's sometimes hard to recover. Okay, so right there's a little trick that you can do. Whenever you enter a tank power-up, sometimes what you can do is if you're mashing the 1 button, you'll actually get an early missile shot before you like fully transform into the tank. And so you can do that on every tank section. In this case scenario, you can save about 3 to 4 seconds by hitting like these walls, and you can get a hit on it earlier, and it saves about 3 to 4 seconds. It's a minor thing, but it's nice if you get it. Alright, that was an okay goal game. Not the best. Okay, so after every stage, you get this patch thing that you have to use to unlock the next stage. And you're going to see in most case scenarios, I'll move before I throw it. There's 2 reasons behind this. One, it gets you closer to the door, so it's easier to select it. And then the other thing is, sometimes when you throw the patch, it has to go a really far distance. So the closer you are to where you have to throw the patch, the less time it takes to get there. So it's a small time saver thing.
Okay, so in case anyone's wondering, we're running the OST in the background. So we'll link you the whole OST, and then you can find out what song.
Okay, so right here is the UFO power-up. It's probably one of the most annoying power-ups in this game for speedrunning. It's really bouncy when you hit objects, and you don't want that to happen because you'll just go flying in a direction you don't want to, and it's not fun. Oh, I should probably talk about this now. Okay, so if you played this game before, you know after like every stage and after you unlock every single stage, the game will autosave. If you've been noticing throughout this run, it hasn't been saving. The reason because of that is I never created a save file for this game, and because of that, the game doesn't have anywhere to save the file to, so it doesn't save after all those transitions. And because the game saves a lot the entire run, it probably saves about a good 5 minutes. It's really big. And then right there, what I did to get back to Grassland, something really basic, but it is something. What I did was I went into the minus menu and I just transitioned back. You're gonna see I'm gonna do that for every single world transition. In some cases, like Grassland to Hotland, it's very minor, but in some cases it's actually pretty worthwhile.
Hey, is this a good time to start saying stuff?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Alright guys, I just wanted to remind you that this is SpeedRunsCentral, which is a 24-hour, week-long annual marathon, which brings in runners of various games and skill levels. Our goal is to raise money for Doctors Without Borders. It is a non-profit organization dedicated to providing medical care to third world countries. Doctors Without Borders serves over 60 countries around the world, and every cent of this marathon, or every cent raised in this marathon will be toward this. Make sure if you are donating that you put it toward an incentive. All incentives can be found in the schedule.
Okay, so something that was a little while back. You saw I did like a jump and then I was continuously spinning. The reason for that is in that one area, for some reason it's really weird. If you hit the ground, Kirby will start moving extremely slowly, and obviously that's bad. So I jumped over the area that makes Kirby move extremely slowly, and yeah. Okay, so a theory I have for this game is, you're noticing I'm staying in the air a lot. A theory I have is that if you're on a slope, like even if it's like any slope of any kind, if you're going on that slope, you actually move slower than if you were in the air. So especially on those kind of sections, you're gonna see I try to stay in the air as much as possible. It's not, I don't know if it's a proven fact, but I have something later in the run to show that kind of helps my theory out a little bit. But yeah, you'll see that later. People... Okay, so 100% of this game is it's kind of a joke, I'll be completely honest. There's one run of it that's been done, game defined 100%, so you have to get I don't even know what it is off the top of my head. It's a lot of stuff. Every treasure. There's one run of it, done by Rubber Ducky Assassin. It was a long time ago. Most people don't run it. I was trying to learn it at one point, but then I gave up on it. I may try to learn it again. Although it's a lot of pointless stuff, so I mean, maybe not. Okay, and I probably should have said this earlier. At the start of the stage, you noticed I picked up an arrow. That was to kill, like, if you would call it a mini boss later in the stage. I just threw the arrow at him. Normally what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to grab 2 Waddle Dees and throw those back at him. But because I grabbed that arrow, I was able to throw him and I was able to kill him in one hit instead of having to grab 2 Waddle Dees. Also, I need to know, was my donation incentive met for this game?
I believe we're $30 away from getting it met.
Okay.
Just in case you guys don't know, the donation incentive is all boss extra medals. So if we raise $30 more for that donation incentive, it will be met.
I mean, well, the first boss is coming up in about 20 seconds, so I mean,
Hey, you never know.
Better get a $30 donation in really fast. Also, I will fix that. What is that thing?
what thing? Is it like a blue line?
No, what is that thing? Is his name.
Okay, so this is Fangora. Very straightforward. There is one thing later in the fight that's kind of complicated, but not that complicated. Basically, on this phase, what it's gonna do is it's gonna throw fireballs at me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up one of those, and after I get the second hit on it, then I'm going to throw the fireball back at her, and then because of that, it's gonna skip it going back up into the air and flying back down, which is what it just did. And it saves about 20 seconds. It's not that complicated of a strat, but I can mess it up if I don't get the throw fast enough. Oh my. Oops. Also, since I was feeling a little generous, I did the extra metal strats on this boss fight, so you guys still have about 10 minutes to donate that $30 to get that donation incentive in.
There you go, guys. Keep donating.
Yeah.
Keep donating. You can donate with a credit card and PayPal, by the way, and all the money goes to Doctors Without Borders, which is a non-profit charity organization.
Okay, so normally what I would do on that fight is I threw one fireball at it. What I did instead was I threw two, and that gave me enough extra beads in order to get the extra metal. That only wasted probably about 4 or 5 seconds, so it's not a big deal. On some of the boss fights in this game, though, you will literally have to try to not get the extra metal. Like the boss in this world, Hot Wings, you almost have to try to not get the extra metal. And right here, if you haven't ever seen a speedrun of this game, which most people probably haven't, we use this thing called two-player strats. Basically, 2 players, or 1 player, 2 controllers, and it helps speed up certain sections of the game. So, I don't use 2-player anywhere in the actual stage, but I'm going to bring out Prince Fluff, which is the second player, right towards the end of it, before I get into the monster truck section. And what Prince Fluff does, it allows you to like speed up through the section. And so it saves probably a good 5-ish seconds. I'm not exactly sure on that. I learned these strats today, so.
Nice. We do have a $15 donation from Nathaniel. He says, for the Kirby Epic Yarn Thinger. So we are currently $15 away.
Get those donations in, guys. Oops. Oh. Sorry if my mic's vibrating right now. I have to shake the Wii remote in order to get this to work. So a really nice thing about Kirby's Epic Yarn as a speedrun, there is literally absolutely no RNG in this game. There is one small section in this next stage that could be considered RNG, but because of the strats I do, the RNG I get doesn't even matter. Basically, there's going to be these fire spewter things. I don't know official names for this game, but they're going to shoot fireballs up, and what you could do is you could just YOLO it and go straight through and hope they're in good positions, but that's not what I do. What I do is I just wait for them. If I got good luck though, what I could do is I could just go straight through it, but usually you don't get lucky, and if you don't get lucky, then you'll fall into the fire, and you'll waste about, I don't know how much time it wastes, probably about 5-8 seconds. Alright, so right there what I did in this fire truck section was there was this fire bar that I normally would have to either put out or damage boost through, but what I did was I got enough of the fire out of the way, and then I was able to jump over it, which skipped the damage. It doesn't save that much time over the damage boost, but definitely saves time over extinguishing the fire and then continuing on. Alright, so this is probably one of the most random goal games early on. You kind of just have to hope it ends fast. Alright, that was really good. I've been getting really lucky with goal games this run. I'm kind of shocked. But yeah, you kind of just have to, try to stop it at a good time. There's really no setup for that one. Not that I can think of.
So, our PayPal donation site is currently down. I think we broke it or someone broke it. So, we currently cannot read PayPal donations. So, we're working on that right now. If you put a PayPal donation in.
You can still donate though, just say in the chat what you donate in your comment, we'll read it out on the stream for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think they can even donate, actually.
Oh. Well, just say you're going to donate. We'll believe you.
But I think someone donated $15, so I think your incentive got met for Kirby.
Okay. I mean, either way, there's still a little bit of time left because it's very hard to not get the extra medal on this next fight. So, it's all good. After the next fight, on the next boss fight of World 3, then it actually starts whittling down time to get those extra medals, but it's not a big deal.
I just wanted to say real quick, the layouts were done by Nosfi. He did all the layouts. We have 3, 4, 5 different layouts, so if you ever see him, thank you, or tell him thank you. He loves the compliments, and he really deserves it. He did a great job.
Okay, so Cool Cave. There's 3 different parts of the stage that are cycle based. At the very beginning, I did a specific strat that allowed me to get a first cycle on the thing that was moving down. And then also the second part after like the maze, I did specific strats in order to get, well, that cycle is not really a big deal, but right here is where the cycles start to really matter. I'm gonna do some risky strats here and hopefully I don't mess them up. I learned these today also, and I didn't. Wow, I'm actually kind of shocked. Alright, so story time. This, I'm not exactly this drill power up. When I had back like a 143 in this game, I always thought you had to mash the 1 button to actually do the inputs right here. And then it took me forever to actually realize you can just hold the one button. And back then I always used to waste frames trying to mash the one button, but now it's just you hold the button and go. So easy. Oops. Alright, I knew my luck couldn't go good forever. So right there, that is the worst possible goal game. It's kind of unfortunate. Over a best goal game that wastes about 4 or 5 seconds. It's pretty big. Although, I mean, there's nothing I really could have done about that. Alright, so at the beginning of this next stage, I wish I could say what the dinosaur is, but there's this dinosaur that goes up and down. And if I move fast enough, I literally have to move almost task perfect. But if I move fast enough, I can actually get a first cycle on the stage. If I were to use 2-player strats, it would make it a lot easier. I just don't know how to use them. So, I think I see how you would use them, I've never learned them, so I'm not going to try them, especially in a marathon. But I can still get it with 1 player, it's just a lot harder. Oh my, I actually got them. I haven't got that in so long. Okay, so that just saved about 15 to 20 seconds. I'm actually very shocked I got that. I barely ever get that. That was really good. Alright, so this is the one stage this happens on. Earlier in the stage, you saw that I picked up the 3-star patch. It's very hard to avoid that. And you usually get it, and the goal game just happens to be on the perfect cycle that you'll always get that. I also I cannot talk. I also got a bad goal game there, but it's whatever. Alright, so on this next boss fight, I'm also going to use 2-player strats here. Normally what Hot Wings does is on the first phase, it will shoot something at you, go up, and then it will keep doing that process over and over until you get the first hit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Prince Luff and Kirby to grab yarn balls, and then I'm going to throw them at him progressively, and it will skip all of the phases. Normally you could do this with 1 player also, but it's faster with 2 player because you only have to wait for Hot Wings to go up twice instead of 3 times to get 3 yarn balls. These strats are pretty consistent, but I can mess them up. And also, I have to try really hard to not get the extra patch here, so, I mean, it works out pretty conveniently that I need those anyways. Yeah, see, I was barely trying to pick up the beads there, and I got way over on my count. Okay, so I never even thought about this until now, but I guess it's somewhat RNG what side Fangor or Hot Wings decides to fly down on. That's a very minor thing, but I mean, I guess it is RNG. Alright, so the next stage I'm going to go to, I actually use 2-player strats on this also, so it's pretty convenient. So right here, normally what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to push this ducky down the entire way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Prince Fluff, and then I'm just going to throw, oops, I'm just going to throw him up to the next part of the stage. Alright, so that was kind of bad, but oh well. Alright, I'm just gonna play it safe right here. Normally I would grab Kirby and I would do another precise throw, but I'm just gonna wait and I'm gonna do a jump over to this next section. It's not that big of a deal. And right here I can skip using the robot by getting on top of that Waddle Doo. And then, hang on, I'll explain this after I get through it. Okay. So normally what you're supposed to do there is you're supposed to like save a teddy bear and make him all happy. But what I did was I threw Prince Fluff Prince Fluff on top of the bear, and then I was able to skip making him all happy and stuff, so rip bear. And this is probably the most annoying power-up of Kirby. It's the train. It's really good in casual play, but in a speedrun it's really difficult to do optimally. Your sensor bar has to be in a good place. And honestly, I don't really like the sensor bar on the Wii, especially for speedrunning. It's not the most precise thing in the world. Oh no, I'm not pointing the Wii remote at the television, Ripperino. Alright, so this next stage, there's a bunch of bouncing mushrooms. The stage is called Mushroom Run. And there's three different types of jumps you can get off mushrooms. One is if you normally jump onto them. The second is if you ground or do like the weight onto them, you'll go up higher. And then what you're gonna see right here is I'm gonna do like the paraflight thing, and that's gonna make Kirby not jump at all. In most case scenarios, I want to do that. I don't really want to get a normal bounce off most mushrooms. But I do get that in some cases because I don't need to ground pound, and I don't, or if I ground pound, it's too much height, and then if I do a paraflight, or I don't know what it'd be called. I don't know what it'd be called, but a paraglide onto the thing, then it would be too little height. So on that yellow mushroom right there, I could have gotten a low hop on it, and it would have saved a little bit of time, but I missed it. But it's not that much big of a deal. Alright, so something that I haven't talked about at all during this run, that's kind of minor, but it is a thing. You've probably noticed the beads that I'm picking up, and at the end of every stage it counts up the beads. I don't purposely sit in stages and try to like take off my beads by getting damaged. In some cases I will get damaged to remove beads, and it doesn't really waste that much time. I thought I'd bring it up now because the stage has a lot of beads in it. It's a minor thing at the end, and it's also why I changed when I do my split timing, but that's another thing. Although you will see I try to, in stages, I try to pick up less beads. In this stage it's kind of hard because most of them are just like literally in your way and you can't avoid them. Alright, so on the stage, right there, it's possible for me to be too fast. But I had to wait a little bit anyways. Even though I was a little fast, and I just had to wait it there a little bit. Although sometimes I just kind of go at the jump and then I realize I'm too fast.
Just to remind people in the chat, if you are new to the stream, we are SpeedRunsCentral, a 24-hour, day-long, week-long annual marathon, bringing in runners of a wide variety of games and skill levels in order to raise money for Doctors Without Borders, which is a non-profit organization dedicated to providing medical care to third world countries that cannot adequately afford the care that they need to live sustainable lives. Doctors Without Borders serves over 60 countries right now across the world, and namely Latin America, Africa, and Asia. So really cool donation. Also, that blood color donation is coming up. It will be in a race with Yoshi Pro, and that's after Jamaican Bacon's run, I believe. And it's a bid war, so $1 will get you the blood color you want as of now, since there are no donations for it currently.
So something extremely minor, but I'm going to point it out anyways. You're going to see when I get to the end of those music note staffs that I get on the bottom That's because obviously it takes Kirby less distance to get down to the ground, and then I can start my car sooner. And then got another really bad goal game. But hey. So did the donation tracker ever get back up?
I think it did. I'm still waiting for something to see if we got the donation or not.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'll do the extra patch anyways. I'm sure if you guys could donate, you would get that donation incentive met, so.
Yeah, because the donation button's down for a lot of people. It is up for some people though, which is interesting. I don't know why.
Okay. So I'm going to explain what you would normally do on this boss fight if you didn't have to get the extra patch. Normally what you do is he does this attack where he goes into his hats, and you have to figure out which hat doesn't move last in order to get a hit on him. What we do normally is we would fail that cycle on purpose, and then his next attack would be he throws cards at you, and we would grab 3 cards to attack him with, skipping all of his slot phases afterwards. But because I need beads, I'm gonna get this attack correct, and then he's gonna do a bomb attack that wastes about 20 seconds compared to doing the fast strats. But I need to get those beads, so. Okay. That was actually really close. I almost failed that.
Also, if you can't donate at the moment, you can feel free to share the stream on Twitter or other social networks using the hashtag SRC2014. And you can add us at SpeedRunsCentral.
So right here I'm gonna get hit, but it's not to worry. My beads won't go away that quickly.
And just a little reminder, our next runner will be Jamaican Bacon, and he's going to be running Tron Evolution, which is a really cool run, so you want to stay around for that. And just to recap, our current runner is Paperario1231, doing Kirbys Epic Yarn and 8%, so be sure to follow him as well.
Alright, so I think this is the first time in the run that this tactic is going to get used. I could be wrong. But whenever you grab something with your Yarn Whip, it will actually boost Kirby slightly into the air, a little more than before. And so what I'm going to do is there's these beach parasols that I have to grab, and I'm going to get about level with them, and then I'm going to Yarn Whip them, so Kirby gets enough height to actually get on top of them. As you can see from right there. So I guess I can talk a little bit about water controls. You have to press the 2 button in order to swim faster. What I do in water case scenarios is I mash the 2 button. And normally you could hold the button, but the reason you want to mash is I think it's slightly faster. You also get up to top speed quicker, and then if you have to change directions, you can change directions faster.
Also, if you're wondering about the music for the new viewers that are here, it's the Kirbys Epic Yarn OST. Since the game audio quality was a little low, then we just decided to put the OST on, so hope you enjoy.
Yeah, sorry about that. My Dazzle broke about a month ago, and I still have yet to order a new one, so I have to use my Easy Cap. And while it does get audio, the audio is really, really bad. And so I tried to I tried to play it low, but I mean, I guess it wasn't heard at all, so I'm sorry about that.
It's all good. Hey, at least you can stream, and the video doesn't look half bad, so.
Thank you. Oh, so this is the dolphin power-up. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can press the 1 button to do an attack. It's not actually faster, but in some cases I'll just do it for fun because I'm not really doing anything at the time.
Is the dolphin very hard to control when trying to go fast or whatever?
At first it's kind of hard. Like when I had to do a jump into a waterfall, I used to have a lot of trouble with that because I would get up really close to the wall and then jump up, which I did in this run. But back when I was first starting to learn this game, I would I guess I would hold down or something, and then I would get out of the waterfall, which would be not good. But now that I know how to do that, I mean, it's still kind of hard, but you only have to do it twice in the entire run, so. And most of the time it's pretty enjoyable to control, so.
Cool.
It's not like the UFO where I actually mind using that power-up because you can waste a lot of time by bouncing off of objects.
To answer your question, kiddo, actually we have a run coming up very soon. Eternal Daughter, that's at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, will have a bid war for the music type. So if you're interested in donating for a music type or soundtrack, that would be the run you want to look at.
Okay, so normally what you're supposed to do right there is you're supposed to go back. You're supposed to flip back into the normal area of the stage, I guess to call it. I don't really know what you call when you flip backwards. And take down some blocks, but you can actually just fall off the edge and then go over to the next part of the stage. It's not that difficult. I'd say it's probably about 5-ish seconds. And it was at the very beginning, in case you were wondering.
Also, we do have some pretty cool SRC t-shirts, hoodies, and more provided by Nosfi's Design. They're available at redbubble.com, and there's actually a lot of cool stuff you can get. You can even get SRC stickers to put on, I don't know, your iPhone.
So I feel like I may have used this strategy already in the run, but I'm gonna do something that I call damage grabs. What I'm gonna do is there's these volcanoes that I have to unwind to get them to stop spewing lava. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the thing to unwind them, and I'm also gonna get damaged at the same time. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna cut my grabbing animation short, and the other thing it's gonna do is it's gonna get rid of some beads at the same time for me. So it's pretty convenient.
Also, yeah, the PayPal donation link is back up currently, I believe, so you can now get your donations in for everything.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever done that before. I guess did this stage so fast I was on a different cycle right there. Usually I get hit by the eels twice, but there I only got hit once. Although I kind of dislike that because I usually end the stage with 0 beads, but I have quite a few right now. Alright, so this boss fight right here, it's actually pretty annoying. I have to fight this giant squid, and he's gonna try to grab me with his tentacles. I don't want that to happen because it interrupts my, like, I have to unwind, like the first phase of the boss, I have to unwind him, and while I'm trying to do that, there are these tentacles that try to grab me, and I don't want them to do that because it wastes about 5 seconds and it just doesn't look very good, impressive. What you're gonna see I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the top right corner after I grab the thing to unwind him. For some reason, when you go into that corner, the tentacles will actually move slower when they try to come and grab you. I don't exactly know why, but it's a thing.
I believe you're not actually doing the extra boss levels, are you? You're just getting the medals, correct?
No, I'm just getting the medals.
Okay, that's what I thought. So yeah, he's just getting the medals, guys.
So right here on this boss fight, I could have hit him with one of these yarn balls to get a little bit of extra beads. But as long as I pick up enough beads in this ending part of the fight, I'll still get the extra medal. Okay, that was actually really close. Alright, I should be fine on metal or beads. Alright, cool. I'm just curious, can I get a time check? so later on this stage, it's actually going to help prove my theory I mentioned earlier in this run about slope movement. There's going to be these snowballs that will move down hills, and I'm going to jump over the snowballs, and I'm going to be moving faster than them. I'm pretty sure your snowballs will move at your running speed, so it helps prove my theory really well. Also, I kind of just got wrecked by those Waddle Dees that throw snowballs, but whatever.
So, do you know if Japanese version is any faster or slower? Because I've never seen someone run a different version.
I wish I could say anything. I mean, there's not. It may save a few seconds. I can't see it saving much because there's really not that much text in this game at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if you were trying to get like a super optimized time like TAS, I'm sure you would probably use the Japanese version because it would save a little bit of time. But I mean,
yeah, and looking at the Wikipedia, it was only released like 3 days before in Japan, so I'm sure they didn't patch anything at all.
I don't know, probably not.
But yeah.
Before wrong warp.
yeah, that would be hilarious.
So this stage that I'm going to go to, Cozy Cabin, it contains the one glitch in this entire run. It's pretty hype. I'll explain it when I get to it. Basically, I'm going to grab a block, and then I'm going to clip into a block, and it's going to save breaking a block. It's a very minor glitch, but it's a glitch. Other than that, this stage is pretty straightforward. Oh, frick, I forgot about something. I forgot there's a 2-player strat here. That's what I get for forgetting. Just kind of wasted some time there, but oh well. Yeah, I don't know why I completely slipped my mind that I need to get Prince Fluff ready. Alright, so here's the glitch. I grab this block, and then I clip through that block, and then I skip breaking a block. And then right here I'm going to do some grab boosting to skip breaking some blocks right there.
You're on SRC1, correct?
Yeah, SRC1. Alright, so that was
cool.
That was the 2-player strat. I just got on top of Kirby and I jumped up to those blocks. Normally what you have to do, going with the trend of blocks, you would have to grab all those blocks and create a path for yourself. And then there's a ladder you have to climb up, but before you do that, there are blocks in your way that you have to destroy. The gimmick of the stage is if you go too slow, there's actually a carpet that will grab you, but because I'm not slow, I don't get grabbed by that carpet. Alright, if you got anything to say, you can go on ahead. There's a 2-minute auto-scroller coming up.
Okay, cool. I'll just remind everyone that we are raising money for Doctors Without Borders. They're a non-profit charity organization dedicated to providing medical care to third world countries that cannot adequately afford the care that they need to live sustainable lives. Doctors Without Borders serves over 60 countries across the world, namely Latin America, Africa, and Asia. If you would like to share the stream with your friends, you can do so using the hashtag SRC2014. I can put that in the chat too. And the current runner is Paperario doing Paperario1231, sorry, doing Kirbys Epic Yarn any percent. And you should definitely go check out his stream. Again, will be in the chat, and you should give him a follow because he's really cool. Okay, so another reminder, our next run will be Jamaican Bacon doing Tron Evolution. That will be a 100% New Game Plus run by him, and I believe he is currently the world record holder for the game still, so he'll be doing that. And then shortly after him will be a race between Yoshi Pro and Damagak. They're doing Serious Sam HD, the first encounter. It'll be at any percent co-op speedrun, and we currently have a bid war for blood color, and you can donate $1 as of currently and choose the blood color for that. So if you would like a list of blood colors, I can link that in the chat so you can know what to donate for.
Alright, so this next stage is actually pretty complicated. There's basically these ice physics, and it's gonna make Kirby go into a sled. The only time this happens in the game. I wish it happened more often. But when I go down a slope in that sled, it's gonna make Kirby have a ridiculous amount of speed. And what I want to do is I want to keep that speed for as long as possible. I've gotten pretty consistently at getting it to almost the full extent. But I can mess it up pretty badly, but I shouldn't, hopefully. Nothing. Alright, so that was pretty decent. I could have gotten it past these ice blocks, and that's what I consider average, but I didn't waste too much time. It's not an easy strat to do. You have to have good spacing as well as be able to control that super fast speed. So King Deity, similar to Hot Wings, it's one of the fights where you have to try to not get the extra patch. So it's another convenient thing. King Deity actually is a very interesting boss. I'll explain some of the strategies when I get to him. Alright, so what King Dedede's gonna do at first is he's always gonna attack me with this hammer, and then he's gonna dive at me. What I'm gonna do is when he does his hammer attack, he's gonna spawn these stars that I'm gonna turn into yarn balls, and then I'm gonna save that for a little bit later in the fight. Alright. So you save it, and now he's gonna do an attack to... Oops! That's new. Wait, what? What? That's never happened to me before. That was interesting. What the heck? Okay. Okay. That was interesting. I can't say that's happened to me before. Should be on the same cycle now, though. Alright, good. Oops. No. Uh-oh. Where is that? Okay. Alright, so I got... That was scary. I'll be completely honest, I was legit worried throughout that entire fight. Okay, so what I did was I saved 2 yarn balls after I got 2 hits on him. And then I was able to just throw those at him and get the next hits on him. I almost lost one of my yarn balls, which would have been extremely bad. But I was able to save it, and I still got the extra medal. And then there's a strategy you can do. If you can get on top, if you jump on top of King Dedede's head, then what you can do is you can actually jump off his head, and you can grab the things to do damage to him early, and it saves a few seconds. You can potentially do that twice in the fight, and it saves about 6 to 8 seconds if you get both of them. And now we're gonna head to Spaceland. Spaceland is probably the stage where you can make the most major mistakes, maybe next to Dreamland. I don't know exactly. I seem to always have a bad Spaceland in my PBs, especially on this first stage, because I try messing around sometimes, and then I just fall off the stage, and I lose so much time.
Okay, I had to leave there for just a second. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Alright, so similar to the sled, this I guess roller coaster, it gives me additional speed, so when I do a jump right here, I'm gonna go flying, and that helps speed me up quite a bit.
So how much time does dying normally lose in this game?
You mean like falling into a pit?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I guess it depends on how far you fall in like the instance. I'd probably say it usually wastes about 10 to 15 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, knock on wood, haven't fallen off anywhere yet, so...
Do your runs, like, in your PBs normally not fall off anywhere,
or...? It usually happens maybe once or twice.
Okay.
It's kind of like bonking in a Zelda game. It may happen once or twice, but it shouldn't happen that often.
Okay. Is there any strats at all for the audio scrollers in this game, or is it basically just do it normally?
Well, on some of the auto scrollers, I mean, there's a little bit to it, but on most cases, you kind of just either mess around. There's actually gonna be an auto scroller in this stage that's considerably long, and I may use that time to go to the bathroom. I'm not sure though. It's a pretty long amount, and I'm just sitting there doing nothing, so I may end up doing that. I'm not sure though. Alright, so on this next stage, there is a 2-player strat here. I just don't know it. I'm pretty sure it's kind of minor. It's probably like, I think it's 10 seconds overall. I don't know exactly. I've never tried it. I looked at it from Nest Kamikaze, who was a former runner of this game, and I never learned it. Alright, so right there, I could have grabbed a switch right there to make it so I didn't take damage there, but that probably would end up wasting time because I would have to grab the switch to not get damage, but then getting damage also gets rid of some of my beats, so I don't know. Yeah, so right here what you could do is if you had a second player, you could throw them up onto the next platform and save a little bit of time. And then I think you do it somewhere else on the stage. I don't know. I looked at them and I don't really remember them as of now. Alright, so this is a stage I try to end off with 0 beads if possible. I get damaged on these spiky Gordos until I have 0 beads, and then I try to keep it that way. Although it usually doesn't end up happening. Yeah, alright, 30, that's not bad. Stop. Alright, so coming up is probably the most helpful situation of 2-player strats, and this is probably the reason why it started getting implemented to runs. One day I was just like messing around with it, and I was like, hey, maybe I can use the second player and do the stage faster. And so that's actually what I did, and I figured it out. And this 2-player strat probably saves like a minute and a half overall. I'll explain a little more when I get to it. But it basically sparked the idea of using 2 players in multiple stages in this run. And so that's what got, you know, the world record I think was probably like a 142 before that, and now it's a 138. It got pretty broken because of 2-player strats. So normally what you're supposed to do in this stage, you're supposed to mess around with the gravity to make it anti and then regular gravity again. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use Prince Fluff and Kirby to skip all of that.
I'm taking over for Domi for a little bit.
Alright, cool.
I would like to start by saying that we would like for you guys to spread the word around about SRC on Twitter using hashtag SRC2014 and talk about any other social networks like Facebook or MySpace, or if anyone still uses that.
MySpace all day, every day. If there's any announcements you need to say, you can go on ahead and do that. The stage is pretty self-explanatory, from what I remember. I haven't done the stage in quite a while.
Alright, well, I guess I'll continue on. Please check out our SRC t-shirts and hoodies and other varieties of shirts, all provided through Nosfi's design. Pretty legit, IMO. They're all available in different colors and stuff on the Redbubble website, which will be linked in chat right about now. Please check it out, they're actually pretty cool. Also, that our next runner will be Jamaican Bacon running Tron Evolution. From what I've heard, that'll be a pretty cool run.
Alright, so right here there's an auto-scroller. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get down to 0 beats, and then we're gonna run to the bathroom real fast.
Taking breaks during the middle of a speedrun.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Reminder, you're all watching Kirbys Epic Yarn while Paperario is not even here. And please, everyone, follow him on his channel. I'll bring that up in chat in just a moment. There's a link. Also, another reminder that this is SpeedRunsCentral, a 24-hour, week-long marathon bringing in runners.
Sorry if that was a
you're
little
back.
unprofessional, but I had to. I feel a lot better right now. And only wasted about maybe a second. Because I could have got to the ending thing a little faster, but hey, you know what? I feel better now. Anyways.
Can I finish up? Sorry.
Next up is Meta Knights. I usually get to this boss fight and I kind of phase out because I don't really get this far in runs that often. Like, my beginning of the game I know pretty well, but once I get to the end, it starts like my memory of my strats and stuff starts to slip away. I'm pretty sure on Meta Knight you don't have to do anything different in order to get the extra patch. I could be wrong. I think I just have to pick up the beads. What I do on Meta Knight is, he has a phase where he'll fire a lot of attacks at you that you can use to attack him. On that phase, I'm gonna get 2 attacks, so that way I can skip his purple sword, which is where he attacks you a lot. It's... Oops, that was not what I was supposed to do. Alright, that was bad, but oh well. It's better. Alright, so this phase right here, I'm gonna grab an extra attack, and then I'm gonna use it on his purple sword phase. Besides the beginning, that was a pretty good Meta Knight fight. So now we're coming up on Dreamland. Probably the hardest stage in the game. There's a couple 2-player strats, but it's the longest stage in the game, and there's a lot of difficult movement throughout the 4 stages. And then the boss is not easy either.
I actually have a question. Have you ever did a 2-controller run?
What do you mean? Like a 2-person run?
Oh, have you ever used 2 controllers in a run?
Yeah.
Yes?
You mean
How
like a
hard
second
is
player?
it? Yeah, a second player.
I've done that a few times this run.
Oh, this run?
Yeah.
I was not here for that.
Yeah, but that's the thing in this game. On some of the stages we use the second player to help speed them up. Oops. Better still get the cycle. Alright. So Prince Fluff doesn't actually get any use in the stage. I mainly get him out for the tank section, because I have to fight Wispy Woods. And having the second player for the tank sections is really helpful, because you can use the fist attack, which is what the second player allows you to do. And it really helps with boss fights. You're gonna see that I use that on Yin Yarn also. The early shot? No.
reminder that this is SpeedRunsCentral, 24-hour day, week-long annual marathon bringing in runners from a wide variety of games and skill levels in order to raise money for Doctors Without Borders, a non-profit organization dedicated to providing medical care to third world countries that cannot adequately afford the care they need to live sustainable lives. Doctors Without Borders serves over 60 countries across the world already, namely in Latin America, Africa, and Asia.
Alright, so right here is Wispy Woods, and you're gonna see that having the second player really helps speed up this fight. Dead.
Dang.
That tree had no chance.
Get wrecked, tree.
Yeah, the reason I don't do it on the first stage is because those brick walls, they don't go down any faster with the second player. There's really no need to use it. I could be wrong though. I've never really tried using it there. Oops. Okay, now. Alright, bye Prince Fluff. We'll see you in a bit. Alright, so this stage is pretty heavily based on wind currents. In most cases it's going the way you need it to. But when you get to the section where it starts going up, it gets a little bit complicated. For the reason that the movement gets a little bit different. I'll explain it when I get to there. It's a small strategy. I did that part wrong. I haven't practiced this stage in a while and I kind of forgot my strats, but very minor. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is when I get to the chance where I can jump off a ledge, I'm going to do that because jumping is actually faster than just riding up the wind current. It's slightly more dangerous, but gotta save the frames, man. Alright, that was a really bad goal game, but hey. Alright, so this next stage, very movement based. There is an auto scroller in it. That's pretty late in the stage. Could have used this time. Never mind. But yeah, if you have anything to say, I mean, if you want to say it, go ahead.
It looks like we have a raid in the SRC with the message, drop the beat. Welcome, raiders.
Yeah, I was actually looking at the chat on my phone and my phone died, so now I can... scroller. I'm just gonna get myself, similar to the other one, I'm gonna get myself down to 0 beats and then chill.
Are you gonna go again?
No. My bladder isn't that small. Honestly, this one probably would have been the better one to go on because I think this one's actually a little bit longer.
Just like do some jumping jacks. I don't know.
Yeah, and the game will just naturally progress me. Like when I get stuck and I void out, which is basically like I'm falling off the stage, but I'm not actually.
Raid is still going.
Shoutouts to Raiders. I wish I could see it right now.
I think I made Roman married. Mom. Raid blue.
Alright, so now I'm fighting the boss of the stage. Why do I not know the name of this boss? I feel like I should know. I guess I'm not a true Kirby fan. But anyways, what I'm doing is I'm getting really close to it, and I'm actually taking damage right now. But since I don't have bees, it really doesn't matter at all, and I can just kill him pretty quickly. Especially since I don't have to worry about taking damage. Alright, so this is the last normal stage of the game, King Deity's Castle. And it also has a 2-player start at the very end. Pretty hype.
Just a reminder, all of the money that will be donated is going straight to Doctors Without Borders, non-profit organization. Really helps out.
Canon section. Second try, that's not too bad. I was trying to remember, I have a controller setup that I put, like I have my controllers in my hands in a specific way to make that easier, but then I forgot how to do it since I haven't done this stage in a while. But I still made it work. Second try isn't bad. Oops, this is not good. Alright, that's better. Alright, so now it's time to fight Yin Yarn, the final boss. And we also use Prince Fluff on him too.
Yay, Yin Yarn.
Yeah, whoever's doing time should get ready on that soon.
I'll do that.
So basically what we use Prince Fluff for in this fight is the way the fight works is we refight both Fangora and what's the boss? The squid boss, Capilmari. And after that he does like this little like kind of maze-like thing, kind of not. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Prince Fluff and I'm gonna throw him up into the doors, skipping those sections. It's kind of difficult to do, and it's kind of not. But I mean, it saves overall probably about 10 seconds, so it's pretty worth it. I'm actually not too familiar with these strats, so hopefully I don't suck at them. Also, this fight is pretty easy to get the extra patch on. Probably should play it safe and get a couple extra beads, but I think I'll be fine. Alright, that was actually really smooth. Oops. No, get out of here, Kirby. Oops. I'm making... Oops, that... Okay, that was really bad. I'm a little light on beads right now. Oops, that was not what I was supposed to do. Crap. Alright. I hope it's not that big of a deal if I don't get the extra patch on this fight. Because I may not. I will hopefully get it, but I may not. Alright, so this is my last chance to get an early shot. This one kind of matters, but kind of doesn't. Nope, I didn't get to show it off in this run. Oh well.
That day.
Dang, dude, this phase is taking longer than it usually does. That's better. Alright, and he's dead. Ah, dang it. I'm just a little bit short of getting the patch. I'm sorry.
Dang.
And time.
Alright. Final time is 140.50.
Wait, it was exactly 140?
140.00.50.
Okay.
So
I may rewatch that because I may have been sub 140, and that's actually a PB.
it was sub 140. I split late.
Wow. Oh, I should have let the credits play out. My bad. Wow. I'm actually really shocked about that. That was a pretty good run besides the boss fights. Yeah, so my PB prior to this was 140.28, and I actually thought I could get it because I was playing really well.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's my first sub 140. That's been like my goal for a while. I can't believe I got that in a marathon with having to get those extra medals. I'm sorry I didn't get the extra medal on the last boss fight, but
I'm sure Chad understands.
I mean, I kind of choked the last boss fight too. But yeah, that's Kirby's epic yarn.
Right, that was Paperario with Kirby's Epic Yarn with his PB of sub 140.
Yeah, it was probably about
Next,
probably about a 139.58. But thank you guys so much for having me. That run was a real blast.
up next we have Jamaican Bacon with Tron Evolution, which should be a great run. Please stick around.
Hype.